Hi, it's Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And this week I have a special treat for you. I'm not going to talk about getting an ex back. I'm actually going to talk about how to keep someone in love with you, and it's going to be in an interview with Doc Love that I did way back in 2008. But everything he said then holds true today. Unfortunately, he's since passed away, but he has left us a great book, which I've mentioned before, called The System. And in this interview, we're going to discuss, besides how to keep someone in love with you, also interest level. Anytime you've heard me talking about interest level, it's because I learned it from him. He's the one who came up with the concept of interest level and said that interest level trumps everything, and that would be including attachment style. And you're also going to find out how to find out what someone's interest level is, and for the guys, how to date the most beautiful women, the 3 C's when it comes to dating, and the keys to a long-lasting relationship. Because obviously, if you're in love with someone, you don't want to be broken up, and you're going to find out how to make sure that you do that. So I know that it's longer than my usual videos, but don't worry, it's fast-paced, never boring. Doc Love was a character, but in a good way. He's very interesting to talk to, so I hope you'll enjoy it. And the book, The System, that he mentions, that we talk about in the show, is actually available. I have a special price for you, because in the video I say it's $99, but it's actually less. So the link is below every single video. And after listening to this interview, if you want to check it out, just go to the link below the video, and you can actually get 10 free chapters before purchasing the book. So sit back and enjoy, and afterwards let me know in the comments what you thought of the interview and some of the things he said.
I'm at Fresno State. I'm like 19 years old, freshman, and this guy's in his room crying, sitting on the bed.
Wow.
And I go in there, and he has his helmet on, Army helmet. It means he got dumped on.
Mm-hmm.
So we call, when a guy gets dumped on, he wears his helmet. This is in the dorm. And, they live with 208 guys, I think it is. But anyway, everybody was there trying to ask him, well, did you get any? Did you make out? and I'm thinking, right then, I'm thinking, wait a minute. This girl used to make him happy. Now he's crying.
Wow.
And that's when it started. How did she make him feel so good? Now this guy's ready to jump off a tall building.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when the first thing started. And then the second little, I don't know, what's epiphany or it pops into your head.
Sure.
Was I was living in Long Beach with this buddy of mine, Doug, and we were discussing the Friday night dates. We had this 2-bedroom, 1-bath on the beach. It was 100 years ago because the rent was $125 a month.
Wow.
But I said, something, Doug, we don't know where I stand when I go. I don't know where I stand with women. I said, well, this other girl was cold. She pulled me into her apartment to make out with her. Then this other girl, she's all over me. I tried to kiss her. She turns her head. I said, they're illogical. They're inconsiderate. They don't make any sense. So I'm going to start interviewing women. So I started interviewing women, keeping 3x5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to write a book, but a book wouldn't come out. So it ended up being these piles, like this is interest level, this is telephone blunders, this is womanese, this is acceptance, and it came out a dictionary. And I tell you, a social event. I said, well, tell me, how come you dump your first husband? Oh, that jerk! He never worked around the house. He never lifted a dish rag. He wouldn't vacuum. That.
Mm-hmm.
So when I teach my course, I say, to stay happily married, do 60% of the housework. It's an aphrodisiac. Married women go crazy.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen listening up, remember, have the guy do you want the guy to do 60%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has to, and I tell him to look at it in terms of time. Tonight I'm going to clean the 3 toilets. Takes 21 minutes. Tomorrow I'm going to vacuum the house. Takes 18 minutes. Next night I'm going to do the laundry. You put it in and you walk away and you throw it. It's not like you're out there beating it on top of next to a tree like 100 years ago. But if you do that and your wife has any brain, she'll say, God, what a great guy. All my girlfriends complain about, he never picks up his socks. He lets the towels. Yeah, but she knew when she was dating him he was a pig.
Right.
She got surprised too late.
Now, what
Ladies,
about...
read things sooner.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about, for the housework, having the woman do the housework inside the house and having the guy do the work outside the house, like the garden, etc.?
There's too many women that are working today. And a lot of women, he's making $80,000, she's making $150.
Mm-hmm.
Now, thank God for the computers and the internet. If they could somehow work it out, maybe they could share it, go back and forth. But I want them there, with the kids as much as possible.
Or here's
I'm not saying if a woman cares more about her job than him, I'm not knocking that woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that woman for my guy.
Right.
But I want his work to be more important. He needs a buffer.
Right. And if they're making that much money,
the man goes overboard.
If they're making that much money, just hire a housekeeper and problem solved.
Yeah, or hire a housekeeper. Or there's a way to work it out if you use common sense.
Right.
And I just don't see. They're just, if I'm dead wrong or everything, nobody talks or sounds like me. Because the most important factor is, I'm not saying guys can't get girls to fall in love, okay? Mm-hmm. But they can't do this. They can't keep them in love.
I knew you were going to say that.
And that's why I'm here. I know how to keep them in love.
I know.
You're going to romance them. When she's doing the dishes, you go behind her, you put your arms around her, you give her a kiss on the neck, and you say, you know something? She's like, you're the best-looking dishwasher north of the equator. And you walk away. How much time?
3 seconds.
She's good for 3 or 4 days.
Woo.
She won't eat too much. She won't cut her hair. She'll turn Oprah off on the television. I've had girls help the homeless and join churches after this little stunt.
Wow.
So the point is this. It takes 6 seconds. Every day you give her 6 seconds.
Right.
And the girls are all bad-mouthing their husbands. Well, when they want sex, they try to butter me up. You butter her up starting
earlier.
You start buttering her up on Monday.
That's
for
right.
Friday,
for sex
not
on Friday.
Thursday for Friday.
Right. Exactly. And you are the only guy that mentions interest level, and interest level is at the core of most problems.
Yeah, you got to figure out how much. From a guy's side, you have to figure out. You have to figure out 2 things. This is hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
A, why is she with you, really?
Right.
B, what is her agenda? What does she want from me?
How about just love and sex?
But what the guy does is he doesn't think about that.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go in, I'm going to wing it, I'm going to be myself. If it's meant to be, it'll work out.
Right.
And the divorce rate for 37 years has been 50%, 67% of the time. She gets the lawyer. If she stayed in love, we'd cut the divorce rate. So you guys can't keep them in love.
Right. I totally agree.
He'll spend $35,000 on a new Ford truck, all tricked out, wheels, the whole deal. Does backflips, and he'll go out and work on it. The wheels, the rims, and all this. But he won't give her 6 seconds a day.
Right. And you know how, because I'm a big fan of your show. I do listen every week, believe it or not. I've been listening.
Oh, why wouldn't I believe you?
I got to see what you're up to. No, I'm just kidding.
You're the first who ever lied to me, right?
But you know what? I'm actually bipartisan, because I know you always mention, these female love doctors, they're always giving advice that benefits the woman and not the man. But actually, I'm not trying to benefit either party. I'm actually just trying to benefit society.
I want the war to end. And men are generally portrayed as idiots on TV and the commercials.
Yeah, it's totally wrong.
The men will take a look. But see, the feminists are united. Men are united. They can't believe a woman's pushing them around.
Well,
and more single women are buying homes.
Mm-hmm.
More single women are becoming doctors and lawyers.
Yep.
You guys think you had trouble when they were broke. Wait till they get money.
Everyone's in trouble
now. What
now.
do they need you for?
Yeah, unfortunately. And
what they need you for is humor and challenge. Because if you got humor and challenge, she'll rob banks for you.
That's
right.
right.
When she walks in, she takes the armor off. In the industry, she's Anita the Hun. But when she walks in, she's like Cinderella.
Absolutely, that's how it should be. And you know how you mentioned that when a woman's interest level is between 39 and 49, she's just playing with the guy?
Yeah, 40 to 40. Yeah, I just found out about 5 years ago. Is one guy. I do a lot of phone coaching, 10 to 15 10 to 15 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about this at 65, so I've heard every story in the book.
Right.
But what I come to realize is, and it goes back to the name of my column: women don't lie, men don't listen.
True.
But they don't see. So I come up with certain principles, and the principle is the bottom line factor. Never believe or disbelieve anything she says. Only go by her actions, and do her actions equal what she says. But to do that, he has his own interest level.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this girl. I love her. I want this girl to have my babies. Okay, you feel like that.
Right.
You're gone, okay? Your interest level's 89.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to her 20 minutes at the wedding. You want to marry her. But there's 10 other guys that got her phone number, too.
Right.
So they're going to phone Monday and Tuesday, and we're going to wait 9 days.
Okay, so
They're going to ask for Friday and Saturday. We're going to ask Sunday through Thursday. They're going to ask for dinner. We're going to ask for 45-minute Starbucks date.
okay.
Our approach is completely different.
Yes.
Because the woman who's a born detective, and this is her turf.
That's right.
He talks down to you, and you're better than him out of the chute. Pride cometh before the fall. It's in the good book.
Absolutely. But may I
Men
add?
they talk down to you.
Yeah, if we don't respect you, we talk down to you. Absolutely. We boss you around.
Yeah, it's really simple, but it's gotten to the point now. Like you said, about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, why is she hanging around so long? In other words, she gets 51. Why does it take so long to go from 51 to 49 and you're out? That's when the guy leaves at 49.
Mm-hmm.
But the woman, she hangs in there. She goes all the way down to 39. So she gives you what I call the beating. she gives you false hope. We're going to go out. I'm mixed up. Oh, the rugby team. Oh, we're just friends, honest.
Well, you say that she's playing with you, but I think, you know what? I think it's
Well, no, I'm not saying she's wrong to do that, but like I say in my book, I got a cat, right? This cat loves me, right? The other day it runs up and it grabs my boot. It just goes goofy on these boots I wear, and he's scratching with his back leg, and he's doing all this, and I'll say, oh, the cat's interest level's 10. That's the cat.
Right.
Every 2 or 3 weeks, this cat wants. The other times, I'm rubbing its neck and the back of its head, and he's yawning. It's showing the belly. You know what I mean? And because the cat loves me, but he goes, I don't. So the male wants her to be like a buddy, like a good friend, rather than a romantic partner.
Right.
And remember now, when guys are living in the 70s, 80s, you're going to be with her 40 years. How does the guy keep it fresh?
It's
he
hard.
keeps it fresh through humor and challenge. And he's slightly detached. He's not attached at the hip. So here's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
After about 3 to 4 months, she knows, without him verbalizing, if I push this guy too far or I cross the line, he's not going to come back like everybody else.
Right.
She has to sense that. Now, if he can get that over to you, yet at the same time be gracious, affectionate, humorous, funny. You go to the motel once a month, or get out of the house, give the babysitter the kids, and buy her a rose and a box of See's candy. And when she's doing the dishes, tell her how sexy she is when she's cleaning those utensils.
Now, do your techniques work the other
way?
way?
Play with it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's like I have the guy study Cary Grant movies.
Yes. Now,
he was the best.
Do your
There's
techniques
no role models
work
today.
the other way around? Meaning, if a woman is funny and challenging, then she'll get the guy's interest level up?
No, she just.
What?
She
I do
just
have
has
women
to wear a
listeners
short,
too.
She just has to wear a short skirt and puff out her lips.
Well, I've tried that, and it doesn't always work.
Well, you have to be the right. You can't force things. There is a certain karma involved in this, and I find generally overall that if a guy will admit, and this is the question: has a woman ever dropped you or confused you? Then you come to Papa with your Visa card, and I'll take care of you. And if he'll set his ego aside,
yes.
which I'd say 95% of the guys cannot set their ego aside. So I look at it this way. There's 40 million guys in America, 18 and over, single, divorced, love women. I'll say 400,000 of them.
That's a start.
My goal.
That's a start.
And I'm going to heaven. I'm trying to cut the divorce rate. Plus, I have a clean show. I don't talk about sex. I don't get in the gutter.
Okay, now you say if there's a problem, disappear, because it means you're giving too much and she's taking you for granted. So I'm like, if you keep disappearing, then how are you ever going to resolve any issues?
Well, give me an example.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she's upset with
my
you.
thing is, my approach is different.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you're going to say to me, gee, I thought you lost my number, or how come it took for you so long to call?
Right.
You just told me your interest level.
Right.
Yeah, but part of waiting is listening to the verbiage that comes back, minus the womanese. She'll tell you her interest level, but you've got to set it up. I can't say, tell me your interest level. Oh, it's 88. You're doing great. We don't do that. So the man, he doesn't look for any type of feedback. He comes out, bees himself, and hopes to God he passes. But it's not what you got, your face, your body, your personality. It's how it's packaged, marketed. So you negotiate higher.
So you're saying if
let's say you're 20 pounds overweight, okay?
Never.
But you got a great face. You got brains. But you're 20 pounds overweight. Okay? Let's just pick a number, okay?
Sure.
And my thing is this, and I say to you, right now, 25 guys out of 100 are in love with you, okay? But I say this, drop another 20 off. Mm-hmm. You see my point?
Yeah.
So I'm giving you advice on it, and I tell guys this: hey, go to the gym, eat vegetables, take your vitamins, see the doctor first, and do it. You have to. You don't want to be overweight because your neck looks like it's all puffed out. You don't look as good.
Like a turkey.
I mean, here's an example. Take Queen Latifah, 5'9.5", 220, right?
I guess
She's
so.
selling diet food.
I know. What's up with that?
Yeah, she says, I don't believe in being a supermodel. She is. She's two supermodels. And then here's the hypocrisy. She drops 20 pounds. She went from 220 to 200.
Yeah, big deal.
She made a dent.
Right. 5%.
5'9.5", 200.
Yeah.
The feministas want approval for being large size or voluptuous or curvy.
Right.
And her butt's as big as Nebraska.
And most guys don't want a big woman. Let's say it.
It's not good for her health. Why doesn't she care about herself?
Exactly.
She comes out of the shower. She says, why would a guy want that?
They don't.
The point is, I'm not knocking guys. Everybody's overweight.
Not me.
Okay. And I got the only book with a chapter fat in it.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. Healthy. I want her healthy.
Okay, speaking of women, so you talk about beautiful girl world, so tell me about that. Beautiful girl land?
If you find 100 women, you're probably going to look at maybe, let's say 20 or 25 that are attractive. But then you're going to get into what I call, these are the killers. I mean, these girls are gorgeous. You see this girl, you say, this girl belongs on the cover of Cosmo. I mean, so when guys go after these, they have no idea what they're. First, with the average girl with a big butt, she's going to clean his plow. But this girl, I mean, this is like a guy, he thinks he's great at boxing. He won Golden Gloves. He wants to get in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Right.
This girl's had 138 dates. She's had 2 husbands, and nobody has ever rejected her. And you're going to get in the ring of love, and you're going to tie this girl up?
Right.
How long are you going to last? What do you got? You got a bigger airplane, a bigger yacht? She's seen it all.
I know.
Drugs, jewelry, but guess what? They didn't give her challenge and humor.
That's right.
She never knew where she stood. This guy would call up on a Sunday afternoon and ask for the Thursday Starbucks date, and he walked me to the car. I said, "Well, please call me again." And all he said was, "Had a fun time." And then I didn't hear from him again for a week. All the other guys are leaving messages. They're calling me up. I can't figure this guy out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure this guy out means I'm raising my interest level.
That's right.
Guy's ego, which is the devil, says, I got to be proactive. They don't realize when you get out of her face, it's interest in the bank. 2 a.m, your CD, clink, clink. You're making money. The CD's working for. This is what they don't get. Their ego says, I have to go in and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He makes it worse.
I know. I've gone on several dates where I've gone inside, and by the time I walked inside, the phone was ringing, and it was the guy calling me.
But you know what you should have said?
What?
You should have said this. Did you miss me?
That's what I say.
So you know what? I'm falling in love with you the way you practice self-control and patience with me. I'm telling you. That's what you should say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't believe it. But
I'll
you know.
teach you how to be sarcasm queen.
Oh, you don't really
Put them
know
in
me,
their
but
place.
I am on
Tell
the
these guys.
sarcasm
Say,
queen.
listen, when you get a number like this, hey, do me a favor. You got to disappear for a week. So then it's magic, and I think about you, and I wonder when's he going to call? Did he lose the number? Does he like me? And I'll like you more. Can you try that? That's what women got to do.
Right. Exactly. And guys, they cannot complain.
But explain it slowly. 10% of the
Slowly.
guys are pretty good. Okay.
And the other 90
But the other
need your
90
help.
haven't a clue.
I know. Well, that's why you're
I mean,
around.
I get psychologists, psychiatrists coming to me.
Wow.
I just got a letter from a guy, a PhD.
And what did he say?
Well, you know, he's in the University of Chicago. He's got a PhD in sociology, and they were asked to write something on dating, and he brought up the fact that nobody ever talks about the woman's feelings via her actions only. And he wrote a paper on that. It's a 20-page paper. He got an A+ on it, and I got a D in psychology, Fresno State. And a guy with PhD is
Calling
saying,
you.
"Thanks, Doc. How sweet it is."
Exactly. Right.
I read these various books that come out. You know, like Dr. Laura says, 10 ways to take care of this jerk.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's not the title.
And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But I'm saying, what if her interest level's 54? What motivates her?
Yeah.
If he's doing everything right, maybe you're a little on the selfish side. She'll get you to loosen up. I go along with that. But there's got to be motivation. There's got to be there's no interest. It's all interest level.
It is. I totally agree.
They just need 90% of them need to be trained. And I get emails from kids 14, 15. And you know what these guys are saying?
What?
We haven't gone out yet, but how do I tell her I love her?
Ew.
And I'm thinking, where did you get this? I say you tell her after 40 years of marriage and 6 kids. You last that long. She never nags or yells at you. Then you tell her.
I totally agree. And you say that clearing the air is the equivalent of begging, because if there's high interest, there's no air to clear. And I totally agree with that.
Yeah, no, but the point is this, though. See, you're going to marry one of two types of women. Okay, we got a misunderstanding. You did something, and I thought you should have asked me, but you said that. We're going back and forth.
Sure.
And now, so all of a sudden, our voices are starting to get a little louder, right? A little louder. And we're going into arguing. And then you grab my arm, and you say, listen, we're going to work this out peaceably. So let's go get a glass of wine, take a deep breath, and let's look at this from many, many angles and see if we can work out a compromise, or maybe one person owes one something on another deal coming down the road, whatever. But we have to get past this. We're deeply in love, right, honey? Or the other woman, she goes in the other room, gets a wine bottle, throws it at you, it just misses your head and breaks all over the wall. And there's two types. The guy, again, he's blinded by his interest level, his feelings toward the woman, and he does this. He rationalizes slights and put downs, things that he should call her on.
Right.
But if he does, she'd say, "Oh, you jealous? Oh, what are you, uptight? Can't take a joke?" And again, he's more on the defensive. I'll teach him how to get around that too, because girls all say the same thing.
Yes,
it's about
we have
25 lines.
Our
That's
standard
it.
lines.
They're getting away with it. Why change them?
Right, exactly. They're working so far.
These doofuses are buying it. So I try to point out to men, don't do these things.
Right.
She can't get rid of you. At the same time, if she's running a game on you or she doesn't meet the qualifications to be a good wife and a good mother, I'm going to tell you, unless she can live with it.
Now, how is it?
She's got to be honest, loyal, and trustworthy. She's got to be more of a giver than a taker, and she has to be more flexible than structured. And integrity, it's got to be 100%. Flexibility can be 60-40, 40-60, whatever you can live with. And then at the bottom we got scars and baggage, my favorite. And you can affect her interest level, go up and down. But the other stuff, that's stock on the car. We can't take that off. That's it. So I want this guy to date for 2 years and memorize all my materials. This is a radio show.
Yeah,
for what, $100 for $400, $400, Doc. I'm inexpensive. I'm inexpensive. I'm not bragging. I'm a psychologist. They come to me. I got an airplane down Texas. He writes books. Doc, when it comes to women, I'm like a 6-year-old. I said, no, 5.
Your book is only...
It's amazing who understands. I meet guys that are in the 10%.
Yes.
And then there's certain guys I call 3%ers. It goes 3, 7, 10. 7 are real good, but 3 are born with it. These guys,
they're naturals.
They just do everything right.
Yep.
And they never read a book, but they're rare.
Yeah, and your book is only $99, and I think with all the great information in it, it's actually a bargain because the information is priceless.
I say it's worth $20,000.
I think it's priceless.
I had a fireman. He just got divorced.
Huh.
$3,000 a month, and half the retirement.
Right.
Yeah, oh, he's going to enjoy work. I said, what was wrong? He says, Doc, I married a cuckoo. I said, why? He said, well, I loved her. I said, yeah, but the love fades, and what happens when the ether wears off and reality raises its ugly head?
That's right. You end
when I tell these guys, when you get married, when you guys get married, you guys have to be so in tune with each other. You guys have to set down how we're going to spend the money, what we're going to buy, how about a retirement. We're going to get all this out of the way, how much time we take away from each other. We're going to write it all down when we get engaged, see if we can live with it and not give it lip service. Then you go with her 2 years. With my materials, you got a shot. But the divorce rate for, remember, 37 years? Let me ask you a question. How many family therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, how many love doctors, how many marriage counselors, how many we have? We got a ton, right?
Sure.
You know what they don't say?
What?
The reason your wife fell out of love is because she lost respect for you. You are a macho boy, and she's got more brains in her little finger than in your head. Or, and this is the majority of cases, you were a weakling. You were too happy to be there. You were boring. You never stood up to me.
That's right.
And you always took my crap. And I lost love for you and respect for you because there was nothing to love. You're a pushover. Those are the 2 lines that they won't use.
Right.
In the session, you don't need to come here $100 a week for 9 months. What a waste of money.
I know. I totally agree. This guy, he was married, and in the first few months, his wife wanted to make an investment with their money, and he works in finances, and he said, no, it's not a good idea. And she said, well, I don't care. I'm doing it.
Now they should have worked it out. See, what people actually don't argue over money. I'll tell you what it is. They argue over the lack of money. Now explain this. See, these 2 people who just had this argument. If this guy had $20 million in the bank, he'd say okay.
Right.
He didn't.
No.
So they're talking about what they're living on, their cushion in case of emergencies. His style is ultra conservative. Okay, hers is liberal conservative. When you get what percentage? Okay, we look at the thing here. Look at this 20. You want to take 25? Knock it down a little bit. I'm against it, but babe, we signed a deal and I'll live with it. I love you. Give her a kiss.
Yeah, I didn't go down like that. Basically, she did it and ended up losing money. Fast forward 10 years later, he has to divorce her because she's spending his money like it's going out of style. And if he had just gotten out, or at least worked it out at that point.
See, I tell you, I look for a self-reliant woman. I had this guy over in England. He's going with this 37-year-old woman. She quit a good job because she found it boring, but it paid a ton of money. She had 3 little business enterprises. All of them failed. No money in the bank. And she wants to marry this rich English guy I'm doing phone coaching with. I do phone coaching for $2 a minute. And after, I guess it was 2 sessions, I said, you should have read her. I said, what was her apartment like? Oh, it was sticks, and she didn't own a car. I said, this is a 37. What if you told me this woman worked at the bank? She's vice president. She's been there 15 years. Or she's been a teacher for 16 years, and she teaches 5th graders. Now she's got retirement. Now she's got money in the bank. She's got her own condo. We live in an economic society.
Yep.
But he should have. If I would have got a hold of this guy, he would have read it a lot sooner.
Yeah, but he probably wouldn't have cared because he was just in love. He didn't care what she had or didn't have.
Yeah, but that's you have to be objective. Yeah. Love is a drug.
I know.
And that's why I want the guy's interest level to go 80 to 89 with my system. But if it gets in the 90s, like a lot of guys,
Mm-hmm.
if she gives him sex and approval, I mean,
He's history.
he's a little puppy dog.
Yep.
Pop, 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 little puppy dog, little chihuahua. He's owned. Locks. He doesn't think. The thing is
I
this:
know.
it takes its toll.
Eventually.
Finally, the interest level 98, 96, by 2 points a month. Okay, 4.5 years. He says, when it hits 49, she might stay with you for 8 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy is so dumb with his 88% interest level, he doesn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But she never touches him, never rubs his back. There's no
Right.
affection.
Yeah. And then
now,
if
now,
it's,
now you have what I call an arrangement.
yeah,
They're not there for romance anymore. Probably due to economics.
it's business.
The business and the government, the kids and the payments, and we just commit adultery on the side,
Yep, that's what happens a lot of the
which
times.
I believe more women do than men do, because more women are walking, so they're more dissatisfied. They just keep their trap shut.
Right.
A guy can't hide adultery from his wife.
No, they're
That
not good.
Pussycat can smell other pussycat. I'm telling you, you cannot beat their nose. You can't. But a
We know.
girl, she'd come home and smile, kiss you, I missed you and everything, and he just gobbles it up, just gobbles it up. And she's laughing.
Yep.
She says, well, here, I better go take a shower so I can be fresh for you.
Uh-huh. That's right.
And I'm laughing. Oh, no, man. The man is the last to
To know all the time. And speaking of other women,
he won't set his ego aside.
and you also say kitty cats compete. KKK.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you want to hustle a waitress, a good-looking waitress, or a place where they have a lot of good waitresses.
Uh-huh.
Take your good-looking sister there in a sexy outfit.
Ah, okay.
Now she notices you now.
Right.
Now we have equal power on the physical plane.
Right.
Because you saw me with another heavy.
Exactly. That's a good idea. So guys do that.
Yeah.
And now, what do you mean? I don't understand this. When you say other men can't lower her interest level, but if she meets someone she likes better than you, then she's not going to be giving as much to you as she was before.
Here's the thing. You have let's say general. First, you have the initial contact. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go. He's going to wait the 5 to 9 days, and she hangs up. What a cheapie! Starbucks. He didn't spend any money. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'll go anyway. What she's saying is, her interest level's high.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, she's no thanks. I met a guy, but thanks for calling back. 'Cause I'm not going to Starbucks. She hangs up. Her interest level's 49 or lower.
Right.
But if it's 51 or higher, she says yes, assuming she shows up. So the system says you just read her actions. Then she goes and meets you, okay? And let's say it's 60, okay? And this guy talks and he's funny. He's real clean cut. He's animated. You like him. So then he walks you to the car 45 minutes later, and he says, "Hey, nice meeting you." And she says, "Well, hey, I want to go out with you again." And she says, "Hey, you know something? You're really a fun girl." And she thinks, "What the hell's that mean?" The point is this mystery in the beginning,
yes.
but he's got to pass a physical.
Absolutely.
You got to like his mug, his teeth, the way he, whatever that is, what you like. He's got to get past that. Ideally, it's high, but then what happens? Let's say the guy's really handsome. Geez, I'm giving this guy an 88. We haven't gone out yet.
Right.
So the point is this: you get to Starbucks, and he walks you to the car and says, "Nice meeting you," and you drive out. Oh, I never want to see this guy again. What a waste of a good face. Is that a great line?
It is. I got to use it sometime.
That's the way they feel. Now, I studied women, and I don't take them personally.
No.
And when they do this, well, that's not right, or that's what cats do. The cats, they're not like dogs.
Yeah, you got to ignore them.
The dog to be they got 4 legs and a tail. But one meows, one purrs, and when she's not purring, she's scratching. By the way.
That's right.
But you deserve it.
Yes. So
she runs the report card on you.
Yeah, but how is it then if another guy enters the picture that he's not going to lower her interest level?
Well, here's the thing. See, let's say that I've had 3 dates with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we started off low. It was only 51. Mm-hmm. I barely got in there. But I'm up to 70 now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then
you go to a party with your girlfriend. You meet the guy at the party. And your interest level of him is 80.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, you don't call me up and tell me.
No.
You see that guy on the side.
Right.
this is what you girls do.
Yeah, but don't we then start treating
these
you...
little boys don't know about. I'm trying to help. They don't believe me.
Oh,
she does that. Yeah, she does that. All's fair in love and war. Remember? Duh.
But then don't we...
So then you go out with the other guy,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and he didn't have it.
Ah,
Now you compare the two.
right.
What I like about women hate being compared. Now you compare the two. Right?
Right.
Boy, this guy had a better eyes. He was taller.
Right.
I don't know, a little
More
slicker
muscular.
dresser.
More money.
But boy, he talked himself out of the deal.
Yeah.
So I tell the guys, keep it light, keep it funny,
No
no
heavy
heavy
stuff.
subjects, no negatives, no put downs. And if you don't know what to do, just smile and show your pearly whites.
Yeah, just shut up.
And try to make her laugh.
I see. So you wait to see if... You wait for the other person to mess up, is what you're saying, basically.
Well, we're gauging everything now. She's on probation until 10 dates.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to do certain things, and if she does anything, she's out of there.
Like what? What things is she out
Breaks
of
a
there
date,
for? Mm-hmm.
catch her in a lie.
Mm.
For example, here's a good example. I ask you for the home phone number. You say, "Well, sure, here it is," and you write it down. I have the pen, and I have a card on me, so I hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a physical action close. When I brought sales to love is what I've done here. So you look at it and you say, well, here's my cell phone, and then you hand it back to me, and then I hand it back to you. It's like a comment. I said, put your home phone down there.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I just gave her my cell. I said, I want the home phone number. Oh, I live with 3 girls. We go to college, and we all have our own phones. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or my parents don't like me using their phone because I tie it up too much. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Now you retain that. And you're going to try to find out later.
Right.
Like you get to her house and there's you met her 3 girls. You're a 20-year-old kid. You met her 3 girlfriends, and the phone rings. What's that? Was a hardwired phone there?
Mm.
This girl lied to you.
Right.
Which goes back to integrity, honesty, loyalty, trust. You're out. Remember, we're looking for we got to spend 40 years with this person.
But don't you think everybody lies a little bit in the beginning?
It depends what it's over.
Yeah.
You look like hell, and the guy says, "Yeah, you look great." I mean, yeah,
well,
it depends what it is. It's a good question, but it's a general question.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to get as specific as I can on all these issues to really get that. Because sometimes my principles contradict each other. You say,
yeah,
well,
I've
should
noticed.
I, be confident, keep my mouth shut, or I should be a challenge and pop off, or that, and then we weigh it. This is what I call advanced class.
Right.
But I'm getting invitations to go to weddings in Mexico City and New York. I wouldn't have got this girl without you, Doc. I'm getting pictures, and about 2 years ago, I'm turning the husbands around by getting them to do chores.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm getting great response. One woman was talking divorce. She's all turned around. She's back in love.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking $100 before.
I know. It's only
You're talking
$99.
$300 to $500.
Right.
She'll rob banks for you. She'll be a love slave.
And some women have actually robbed
And
banks.
really, no. Here's the thing: most women are dying to give, but you're going to earn it, turkey.
You're going to work for it.
You're going to work for it. I want a little trade here. What do I get? All you got to do is tell her you love the way she washes those big plates. It's that simple.
I know. The book
6
is a bargain.
6 seconds. You wash your truck every week. You clean the rims. 6 seconds. She's more important than your Ford truck.
And also, okay, so mention the 3 C's: confidence, control,
Confidence,
and
control, challenge. Confidence is self-confidence and self-confidence and self-esteem. Then control is made up of patience, discipline, and self-control. And challenge, it says, we're going to do everything she wants to do a long, long time after she proves herself.
Mm.
Trust is earned.
Right.
And the most important thing in the relationship is loyalty. Any flirting, staring into the guys, I'm gone.
Very
I don't
good.
want to hear about ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, emailing out of that. I'm gone. This is going to be a clean deal. But of course, he has to earn it too, But he's got to get to past the Starbucks. Okay, she likes him.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go for the first big date. We're going to go to a nice place, have a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go. Next time, go shoot pool. What I like to do something strange, like take him to SeaWorld, take him to Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
take him to the circus.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't done this since I was 8 years old, and my grandfather. Blah 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 blah. Circus. Nobody takes a girl to the circus.
I know, you're right.
Do some. These are called flank shots, oblique shots. How can I differentiate myself from these 3 million lonely, horny guys? She thinks I'm number one.
Right.
Take her to the zoo. Take her picture. Have her back up to the tigers and all the big cats and take pictures.
Yeah, it's all stuff that other guys don't do.
You got to be creative. You got to come up with stuff. And then as far as restaurants, you should have 5 or 6. Yeah. Now, if you're in Broken Butt, North Dakota, that's tough. But if you're in New York City or Frisco, you got to find out the 5 most far out. I want the far out cowboy joint. I want the far out Italian place. I want the best Chinese food place. But I want eclectic type people, or trains running around up above you, or big aquariums. You got to find those out of the way restaurants, and TGF Fridays and all those other chains are. But I'm talking about when you walk into this place, how'd you find this place? She never said that to any other guy in her life.
Uh-huh.
In her life, look at the response you're getting out of her.
Her
So
interest level's going up.
And you keep your hands to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but she's got to touch you on the second date,
Or at the first
on the
date.
arm or the leg, 1/100th of a second. No touching. She's out.
She's not interested.
Not interested.
Nope. And why
They let you know when they like you. And I'm not talking, a 4-hour grope. I'm talking she's got to tap you. Now my students calls up for phone coaching. I said, "What'd you pick her up?" 7:35. We sat down at 8 o'clock. He said she touched me at 8:10, 8:20, and at 8:30 the third time. And
and she's
I looked
in.
over at her when she touched me the third time, and I said to her, "You're really rushing me. I hope you're not going to break my heart."
Ooh.
So I have them come on heavy, making a
Uh-huh.
mockery of love.
Right.
So what we say? I do Vince Vaughn, Jim Carrey, Owen Wilson,
Cary Grant.
Will Ferrell. What would Will Ferrell? Can you imagine what he'd say? Humor and challenge. So you go in slowly, and if it's meant to be, and you're doing everything right, by the 4th or the 6th date, she's saying, "How come you don't ask me out on Friday and Saturday?" I said, "I got to see my wife and 4 kids." Humor. She asks a question, snappy answers to silly love questions. Go with the flow, diffuse with humor. Never get on the defensive.
Mm-hmm. That's hard
And
to do.
most important, I'm not telling her anything, so she's going to get the comedy act. She says it again, I come back again. We're going to kill nagging now. This is not going to. We see something we dislike. We're going to clean it up now.
And so how are you going to kill the nagging? By having her have high interest level?
Yeah, no. And she keeps asking the same question. I'm
Ah,
saying,
okay.
you have to go to the ear doctor, dear. I think you got wax in your ears.
Ah, okay.
That's what Eddie Murphy would say.
Right.
The 2-week wonder.
Yeah, what was that all about? What do you think?
$500,000. But did you see her face?
A day's work. Yeah.
That is the best. This girl gets A+ in smile.
Absolutely.
I have never seen a better looking
Colgate
smile.
smile.
What a smile! I beat him up on my radio show.
What did
Hey, you only lasted 2 weeks.
Well, what was up with that? Why do you think that happened?
Too fast, and too much ego.
Ah,
Ego. Hollywood people should marry a school teacher.
That's what I say.
She's a woman. She should marry an accountant.
I know. Marry someone not in
You
the
want
business.
somebody. There's salt and pepper. You can't have 2 peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Too much ego.
Too much fighting.
Too much ego. Yeah, you both got to be able to leave it on the other side. About when you come in,
You're not a celebrity at
I
home.
make $28 million as a football player, a quarterback. And she says, well, I make $56 million on tours. I'm a singer, and leave that out. And the key is, I believe, if you two can stay playful with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and watch the zingers, snapping back. This is real tough when the kids are screaming. And the daughter just spilled the milk, and the dog just took a crap on the rug, and the music's too loud, and he says something, and you fire back.
Right.
And he never forgets it.
Yes.
And then the R word, resentment, steps in. The interest level went 95, 94. That's okay. We've got a long time. We've got a long time to lower this.
Now, why do you say you have to make it to 10 dates? Why 10 dates?
A lot of girls will fake it. See, 2 out of 5 girls who go out with your professional daters, these girls also fall in that 40 to 49 area. And they're just going out to go out.
Okay.
But they won't go on a Starbucks date.
No.
It's too cheap.
Right.
So the system protects you. Next. Mercenaries, next.
So if someone makes it to 10 dates, then it's probably going to continue for a while.
Well, the thing is, you got to watch your moves. Let's see. Like I said, on the 4th or 6th date, she says, "Hey, look, I want to take you out to dinner." And so I play dumb. I say, "Why?" So, well, look, you were nice enough to take me out 4 or 5. I said, "You don't remember the exact number? You want me to commit suicide? Huh? You don't remember? Don't you know what love is?" And I could, and she's going for this. You don't do this on the phone. If she's buying into this stuff, if she loves your corny jokes, you're flying. Because everything you say is funny.
Well, women always say they want a funny guy.
Yeah, they do. And I read too much about it in psychology books. It's got endorphins, everything. You live longer. I mean, really, laughter is really good for you.
The best medicine.
And the thing is, I use it as a defensive mechanism, especially when she goes on the hard interview.
Yes.
Because some women, they want to know how much you make. Let's get that out of the way. How much you got in the bank. What do you do? So I tell my guys to say, I haven't worked in 8 years. What do you do?
And
these guys don't know how to fight.
Yeah, with words.
They'll get badgered. They'll get badgered. And the macho guy will just say, "Shut up, bitch." He won't take it. But my impression is that, like people like Oprah, they never talk about how do we help guys.
Right.
And it's politically incorrect. I get on radio shows. They don't never have me back. TV shows.
Well, I definitely want you back.
But, well, the guy's a weakling with his wife, or the woman's a feminista. And a lot of feministas control or strong entertainment. And don't we? I'm for equal rights, equal wages. But this thing is a hate man thing that's going on now.
Yeah,
These
obviously.
girls aren't the same. What have they done to cut the divorce rate? Do they tell the National Association of Women? Do they say, by the way, you have 500,000 women, some of you that are married, hey, let's try to do this. Let's show our daughters how to take care of their future husbands by treating your husband right.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing an important job because if the guys do it right...
I say, let's get the war over.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have women that purchase my book. And what they do is, I had one woman, she got promoted at work.
Because
I got a lot
book?
of Jewish guys calling me, telling me they're using this in business.
Wow, you are.
It carries over universal truths. Hey, you got to remember something here. I put out a 13 to 1600 word column every Wednesday.
At talklove.com.
Never missed a Wednesday. Never missed a Wednesday since January 1, 2000.
Very good.
If I were a BSer, wouldn't I be at a gas by now?
Yes.
And every article is different. Same principles.
Right.
But you got to get it. And to me, when you really look at it, it's common sense. But again, man has to set his ego aside and say, you know something, maybe this love doctor's got something, but I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to give it 100%. See what happens, because you always learn something. If you give me that guy, I can work with that guy. But most guys, nobody's going to tell me about women. Ego. Continue making your same mistakes from woman to woman. Carol says you're jealous. Caprice says you're jealous. Mary says you're jealous. Chartreuse says you're jealous. Guess what? You can be jealous.
Yeah.
You're just not going to do or say those things around her.
Be jealous at home.
You can
by
have your
yourself.
little devils in your head. You can have your
Yes,
hang-ups and your insecurities. You're just not going to show them to her. She's not going to be your psychiatrist.
Yes.
Because she can't forgive you of your sins, and she'll never forget. She's like an elephant. And then she'll put on the report card, F.
That's right. He's gone.
Don't talk about it. Don't make her your shrink. Don't tell her your
No.
insecurities.
Yeah, she's not there to play shrink. If you need a shrink, go see one. Don't tell your woman your problems. Or your
The woman wants to talk about it. That's why God gave you girlfriends. Go, girl.
That's right. Yeah, women. We talk to other women.
But But the kid gets hit out in the car front. A truck hits your child. He's got a broken leg on his bike. That's not the time to tell jokes. No. That's different. That's life threatening. I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying that the cheerier the person, the more up the person.
Mm-hmm.
And here's two guys. One's up, one's not as up, and they both have the same amount of problems.
Right.
So who would you if you had to be in a cell block in a cell? I'd rather be with a guy smiling all the time.
Absolutely.
Assuming he doesn't do it in his sleep.
Depends what he's dreaming about. Well,
at Rikers, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Oh, anyways, I wanted to have you on for almost a full hour because you are a great guest, and I
appreciate the time, and I think you came on my show, and I know you're for the same thing. You're trying to set these girls straight.
Yeah, and guys too.
But let me tell you what thing I would tell you to tell them.
Tell me.
Is when you go out with this guy, and he starts showing you that he's possessive or jealous,
mm-hmm.
or he's got some habits, do not rationalize. What you see is what you get. And if they're deal killers, cut it.
Right.
Nuts, go do it by yourself. Because otherwise you're going to have a guy who's not treating you right, who won't appreciate you, and he knows he owns you, so that's why he can get away with doing these bad things to you in any manner. If he does, I'm out of here.
That's right.
So I guess the bottom line is this. Soon as you get his number, believe it and act upon it. Don't stretch it. Well, 4 years ago he hit me. Well, but he had a rough day at work and he was drinking. I don't hit you. I'm out of here. Any put downs, I'm out of here. And he doesn't treat you with respect at all times. He's not a gentleman. That's
He's
it.
out.
I'm not going to marry this guy.
That's right. On to the next one.
I'm not going to wait. And cut him loose soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, people hold on for much too long.
Too many women hang on. Seriously.
Yeah, they do.
That's my biggest gripe. I said, you guys settle. You guys, you're better off alone.
I agree.
Go out with your girlfriends.
I agree. So let me give you...
And he's miserable. You don't love him, and he knows it. He doesn't know why.
You're both miserable.
Yeah.
So why be there?
But in this sense, I blame the woman because she knows the game. He doesn't. He doesn't know that. 10% do. 3% really do.
Right. So let me give your website again. It's doclove.com. The book is called The System. It's only $99.